Hannah Murray on TRE in the afternoon. TRE's Entrepreneur of the Week.
My entrepreneur of the week is Hannah McCollum, who is the founder and CEO of ChicP, an award-winning British hummus brand with clean, transparent ingredients at its core. It is the world's first functional hummus that improves gut health, provides high levels of fibre and enhances flavour. The range uses aquafaba, which is the byproduct of chickpea water, rather than water. This is to prevent waste and increase fibre and protein content. Welcome to the show, Hannah.
Hi, thank you, Hannah.
It's great to have you with us. And so tell me a little bit about the beginnings. I know you're a chef by profession, so presumably that came into this.
Yeah, very much so. People always call me a chef, and I always end up saying I'm a cook because I never really worked in restaurants, but I chefed or cooked for families and did a lot of private catering and events and work all over Europe, really, especially for summer holidays or in the Alps and things like that. And I hated seeing waste when I was cooking at events, and there was often a lot of food waste. And it really, really got to me. I just found it criminal what people were throwing away. And when I went to cook for my clients, I would always turn leftover vegetable dishes into different dips and hummus, and everyone would be like, "What's the dip of the day, Hannah?" And that became my reputation, really. And then my housemate would call me the blender because I would just get home from work when I wasn't chefing and just turned what I saw in the fridge into different types of hummus.
Oh, nice. I love it. So what is so different and unique and special about your hummus?
Well, it all started with surplus vegetables. I really wanted to support British farmers by using wasted veg that wasn't really waste, but it was being rejected by supermarkets because of aesthetic reasons. And that's how I started. And I used excess surplus veg from London markets. And that's how the flavours became apparent, because I saw a lot of beetroots always being chucked because bags are broken. The same with the carrots. Parsley and spinach were always being chucked early because they bruised very quickly their stalks, but yet the leaves were fine, but they wouldn't get sold. And that's how, and I wanted to have British vegetables and herbs. So I started with those flavours. And then as we grew, you work with certain manufacturers and there are health and safety regulations, and working directly with certain farmers became less easy. And it was such a shame. And it was a battle I always fought for a very long time, actually. And it's kind of stopped me from focusing on the growth of the business because I was so worried about actually what was going on in the food chain. But now what we do is we use the aquafaba, which is, as you mentioned, the byproduct of chickpea water. We use surplus wherever possible, and we do use the stalks and the excess leaves and third grade veg. But what we want to do is get to a scale where when you've got those larger, let's say a Tesco on board, you've got that volume to work directly with the farmers and actually put them on pack. But in the meantime, it's smaller scale and the logistics are very hard to maintain that. So what we've done is gone more the functional route as well as sustainability, and because I'm very passionate about health and created this gut health hummus, which is really, really difficult to do. And the ingredient we found to help with gut health, required a lot of research and development, but that, along with aquafaba and amending the recipes to get to that high fibre level, is quite unique. So it's been a really exciting long project to get to where we are with all 5 flavours.
Yeah, amazing. So you must really need to, A, know your stuff, but B, do a lot of research to understand the market, understand the health and the safety regulations and all other regulations that come into launching and selling a project. It must be frustrating when you have a passion and an idea and a vision, and then lots of, red tape, I guess, gets in the way.
Totally. It's the red tape, unfortunately, of this country, and I think in terms of farm to fork and the barriers that come up between brands who are smaller like us trying to actually make a difference. And it's been really hard pivoting, but actually I know that I can do both with scale and actually at the moment gut health is such an important thing, and encouraging people to have more fibre in their diets is also really key. So the education piece is part of my journey, and I'm really excited that we have no preservatives. We use extra virgin olive oil across all products now as well, which was a great transition. And it's, clean deck products, which are really good for us. So it's kind of a hummus brand with a mission.
Yeah, it's really good. And it seems like the perfect time because people are more and more aware of what they're putting in their bodies and care more about it, which is great and really important for us as humans and you for your business.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if we can encourage healthier snacking, which isn't filled with sugar and nasty chemicals, then that's a great achievement for us. And that's why we went and created the ambient, which means bridgeless snack pot. So a hummus that can be at room temperature, but it's still got no preservatives in. But it just encourages, we can put them in vending machines and schools and change that mindset of having a healthier, high fiber, delicious snack, which isn't a chocolate bar causing sugar crashes in the office, at school, wherever. So that's been a big development on the snack pot side, which is different.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that. That's really interesting because most people will know if they're buying hummus in a supermarket, it will be in the fridge section. So how have you produced a hummus that doesn't need to be in the fridge?
Yeah, it's literally a steam process, very quick, nothing else. So it just heats it up a little bit for a very short period of time. It's very, very difficult to do because not much packaging is able to basically stay alive in that kind of environment. So you have to have very bespoke packaging. But the hummus then just kills all the bacteria and stops it from being able to react for quite a while. So it's a bit like any stable milk or anything that's like, tuna in a can, as an example, in a tin can, was something that was never thought to be possible years ago. And now it's probably one of the fastest growing products that people have in their weekly shops. So that's just an example. It's an education piece, really, but it's there's nothing wrong with it at all.
Amazing. And with regards to coming up with all the different flavours, was there a lot of tests along the way, trying to see what worked and what didn't work and playing about with it all?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at the beginning, to get the staple 4 to 5 flavours, there was lots. And I tried all sorts. And I would definitely say I'm a creative chef. When at this time of year, I'm always making nettle pesto and wild garlic pesto and I love foraging. So the first few flavours, I really did go very wrong. I mean, I tried a grapefruit and big hummus and had a focus group with friends around, and they were all like, absolutely not. That's the most disgusting. Never have a acidic hummus. So I was like, right. I definitely learned early on what was going to work and what wasn't. But we've got some great ideas for flavours in the pipeline, which I'm really excited to bring out soon.
Yeah. And how important are awards? I know you've been nominated for and also won various awards. Does that make a huge difference in terms of sales and getting the products out there?
Yeah, I mean, interesting to bring that up because I got this awards dinner on Wednesday, which we've been nominated for. It's called the Rising Star, the Women in Food and Drinks Awards. But I hadn't been part or will put ourselves forward for anything for a long time and just wanted to crack on with trying to focus on the growth. But when you do have an award, it does make a difference and it really gives you a boost of confidence and it's great awareness and people really like to see you win awards. So we're back on it and hopefully we'll do well on Wednesday.
Oh, fantastic. Well, good luck. Fingers crossed.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
And with regards to getting the products out there, obviously, I know you're available in all kinds of places, in stores and also online, really big on Ocado, which is a big thing I know in the UK. How did you go about doing that? What was that first company that took the chance and took your product?
In London, I think Whole Foods was our first big retailer, which came about from me just constantly working on connecting with the buyer there, but also making sure we had our manufacturer lined up and a distributor lined up. And you have to do all three things at once because nobody really will accept you without one or the other. So it's very much like you just got to say yes to each of them. Yes, I've got a manufacturer. Yes, I've got a distributor. And then one of them will say yes, and then all three can get accepted, basically. And then we got Ocado, and then that's been our biggest growth so far. And now we're on their Future of Food program, which is really exciting. So yeah, this year should be one of the scaling years for them.
Yeah, brilliant. And was there ever a moment when you thought, oh, this isn't working, this isn't going to go anywhere, and thought about giving up, or did you always have a clear vision?
I think I've always had a clear vision, but yeah, definitely have had times of thinking, not much is changing, or we're not growing as fast as we'd like to. How long do I want to? I'll give it another year is often what I say. I'll give it another year, and then you're another year, and you're like, okay, I'll give it one more year. so just keep going.
Yeah.
The moment, yeah.
And just explain, I know I mentioned it in the introduction, but the aquafaba, the water that the chickpeas come in, and the importance of that and why it's so good.
Well, I mean, it always struck me as such a waste to throw it down the drain. And I was being asked by other brands who were doing other products like mayonnaise using aquafaba, whether they could buy our aquafaba from us. And I asked our manufacturer whether that would be possible. And at the beginning, it wasn't, because I don't think it was being used in many manufacturing sites, and it was seen as something that couldn't be sold or used. And then we realized that it is high in fiber and protein, and it makes the hummus a kind of thicker consistency, and you can reduce the oil content, water, etc. So, and anything to use a byproduct rather than use more water resources, which is, more expense, more resource. It just makes so much sense to be able to use what you're cooking with in the same pan. So it's been a really exciting transition, and it's something nice to talk about, which is slightly different, because at the moment, I don't think any other hummus is using aquafaba in their recipe.
Great. And what's next for you? Is it all about creating more flavors or getting your product in more stores? What's kind of more important? I'd love to launch more flavors, and we've got them. It's about launching more stores right now. So now that this functional range has just launched, let's get it into as many stores as possible before we start bringing new flavors in, unless you work exclusively with a certain retailer and bring in a certain flavor with them on an exclusive basis. Otherwise, let's get the functional range really going, and the good gut SKU or flavor is the latest one, and that's along with our Green Queen one, and they've both launched on Ocado, and that's proving really great at the moment. So it's a great case study to go and launch into more stores. Definitely. And is it difficult getting into stores? Now you've got that proven sales record on Ocado, and people are buying the product, and you've got some unique aspects about it as well. It's obviously got a lot going for it. Is it still difficult to get it in the main supermarkets? Yeah,
massively. I mean, it's competitive. And hummus is very own label dominated category. So if you go into Waitrose, most of the hummus there is Waitrose own, Marks and Spencer's own, Tesco's own labels. So we are in a category that is very competitive and own label dominated. So we'll just keep trying. We've got a good story and good flavors and a unique proposal now. So yeah, it's not easy. I wouldn't say going into food and beverage right now is easy for anyone. So yeah. Good luck.
Well, yes, absolutely. Good luck. Well, it looks like a fantastic product. I was realising when I was researching for you coming on today that I did my recycling yesterday, and in our house, it's just me and my husband, but we absolutely love chickpeas. Like, we love hummus, and we love making a chickpea salad or a chickpea curry. And when I did my recycling yesterday, putting out the glass, I realised we had more chickpea jars than wine bottles, which I thought was quite a good thing.
I'm so impressed. The way the world's going in this department, that's a good one.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that.
If people want to find out more about your brand, and that you're available online, so you can ship to Spain, can you?
Spain's a tricky one now with
since
the whole
Brexit.
Customs and Brexit. We used to be able to. We would be able to with our snack pots, which don't require refrigeration, but still, there's going to be hold-ups.
It's difficult, isn't it? Brexit has a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
Well, tell people your website anyway, so people can check you out.
Thank you. It's www.ChicP, which is spelled CHIC, capital letter P, so chic, letter P, .co.uk.
Perfect. ChicP.co.uk. And Instagram as well?
Yeah, ChicP Food. So again, spelled chic, letter P, food.
Perfect. ChicP Food on Instagram. We've been speaking to the founder and CEO, Hannah McCollum, as our Entrepreneur of the Week. Hannah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Hannah.